owning the libs, and getting Donald Trump's approval. That's their agenda. They're not interested in actually solving problems. They're interested in making you angry and finding somebody to blame, because they're hoping that way you don't notice they don't have an agenda. They don't have answers.
Yeah. I'm in a hope monger. Yes, we can mood. Had enough mansplaining for this morning. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Wow. I was looking at the Twitter, and the listeners are not happy with the boys this morning.
No, boys are dumb.
Rocks are
stupid.
I mean, listen.
Right?
Listen, I've not lost hope. I think that, I was reading stuff about the polls. I know you had talked about this in the last hour, but there's so many articles about how the polls are skewed in racist ideologies, and how they're using as many polls as possible. So when the Republicans do lose, that they'll be able to blame the polls. Look at the polls. The election was stolen.
Right. Exactly.
So there's that, and the youth turnout, from what I'm seeing, and we're watching some of the even sexy liberal, family in their podcasts are saying that the youth are turning out in numbers they haven't seen before in Pennsylvania. 6 days before the election, last midterms 2018,
And
it was just over 12,000 votes, and this year it's 50,000 at the same time.
And that's the only thing that counts now. I mean, I think you're right. Polls really are, can be, because that, I think, as you were sort of implying, Dana, has sort of been proven that there are a lot of Republican-funded polling that is skewing like the real average, or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So
our job is just to ignore the polls at this point, get as many people as we can to get vote. There are voting coalitions all over this country. I'm hoping that they're working.
That doesn't compare to Chris's tea leaves, which say we're doomed, apparently.
And Travis said the same thing. Travis got the discussion started.
Dana, here's my point. Greg says, I don't know if you saw this from Kimberly Johnson. That's what I need, more angry vagendas of manicide. That's what I need this morning. She said, it says we're in a better spot than in 2018, but of course, as you've said, we need to get out and vote instead of worrying. I do think the Hobbs decision is going to have an impact, and I think we have a choice. I don't think it's false bravado to say choose to be a Tigger and not an Eeyore. Chris.
There's that. They've also been. Oh, go ahead, Steffi. I'll comment when you're done with this story.
Tom. She was retweeting Tom Bonnier, who said there are a lot of headlines about Republicans being more enthusiastic about voting this year relative to Dems based on poll responses. Here's the NPR poll from just before Election Day 2018, where the GOP had a 5-point advantage in enthusiasm. Dems won the House by 8.6%. Somebody pointed out that caller was, they think, a troll. It was the same, called Tom Hartman yesterday too, that just going, I don't see it. Where's Democrat enthusiasm? I don't see it. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to see at this point, but like you say, Dana, the provable stuff, the early voting numbers, the youth turnout, I think are good signs for Democrats.
I think so too. The early voting is a big deal. If you can go early vote, they use these numbers to target where we're losing, where we haven't gotten people out to the polls yet. So if you can go early vote, definitely do that. It helps Democrats. This has been proven. The other thing is, like, we're all really exhausted. Like, my enthusiasm is pretty damn low, but I'm going to go vote.
Right. Yeah, we are exhausted. Well, it's just not since Chris Christie mansplained to a panel full of women how abortion isn't going to matter in these midterms. And that's what Chris was echoing. In the polls, they say people don't care. They only care about the economy. I'm telling you, there is going to be a pink tsunami, and that is proved out in the numbers, not just in registration, but in actual results starting in Kansas.
Yeah, I think Kansas is a big sign that people care about this issue still. And I think they're downplaying that in the media. I don't disagree with boys, though, with the economy. I know people are worried about that. The Republicans are using that. We also have 5 or 6 days to change the message and hammer into all of the things the Biden administration has done, all of the things that are actually better right now. And we've known this. The Republicans wreck the economy, and then the Democratic president comes in and tries to fix it. And it's not done in 2 years. So they're like, oh, we need to change the House and the Senate. No, we don't.
Right.
We need to keep going on the trajectory we're on and get more things accomplished.
I mean, it's hard to imagine what Biden, how much better he could have done. I mean, unemployment is literally in half, right?
Yeah.
Any indicator you look at, GDP, the stock market, whatever indicator you want to look at, he's cut the deficit. I mean, on and on. But, inflation, again, Dana, I don't know how much, like you say, 5, 6 days we have. I don't know how many more times you can say it. Inflation is worldwide. You can look at it provably, and it's much better in the U.S. than in many, many countries. So I don't know how. And Republicans have no plan for that. They
don't
have no
any
plan,
for
so
anything. I think this is a boots on the ground week where I thank you to everyone who wrote letters and sent postcards, but now's the time to go knock on doors so they can see your face and know that it's going to get there in time. You know, ballots are going to be counted for days after this. Some are going to be weeks and months. There may be a runoff in Georgia. We need to stay calm and patient, but I haven't lost all hope. I still think that the younger generation is tired. I think they know that if they go on this same path, their rights are going to be taken away. They're going to be stifled in what they want for their future, especially young women and trans men and non-binary people. This affects all of them. Reproductive rights, abortion rights affects more than just cis women in this country, and we know that. So